Whoop.
Oops.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to another Jagged Alliance free dev stream. It's so good to be here, and as you see, we have a new guest who's going to introduce himself in just a bit. And first of all, I'm glad to see a lot of familiar faces in chat. Okay, loud and clear. Already someone said that we're doing fine. Okay, guys, so we have a very special show for you today. It's going to be a little bit different. There are no patches or updates this time, but there have been a lot of talk regarding builds in Discord, in forums, and we wanted to show you some things that we've been doing internally when playing around with the game. Yeah. And for that, I'll let my friend here introduce himself.
Hello everyone, it's yet another Pavel.
We're actually leading the Buyans in the company. There are 3 Pavels and only 2 Buyans, so...
So, yeah, maybe if there was another Buyan, the game would be even better, but we work with what we have.
We work with what we have.
In this case, another Pavel.
So Pavel, what do you do?
I work as a level designer in Haemimont Games. I've worked on maybe many of the maps in Jagged Alliance 3, and judging by the screenshots I see in Steam, not the most popular ones.
Yeah,
but,
we have...
Yeah, from time to time I have a little bit of time to play the game.
Yes, actually Pavel is famous in the company, not only for the maps, but also that he is one of the people who actually jumps in the game and just focuses on playing the game, whereas a lot of us get distracted on, oh, this needs to be fixed and this needs to be done, or we should go into that editor, while he just goes along and afterwards he lists all of his impressions, suggestions, and so on in a very deep manner. So that's why he is actually the author of some of what we call the cursed builds, or a lot of ways that you can play Jagged Alliance that are not really how should I say, the easiest to figure out, but they're actually you'll see what I mean.
Maybe before we start, one thing I want to point out is that I don't call them cursed builds, I call them having fun, but you know, I don't name the stream. So yeah, I basically have a little bit more time to play the game, and I try to play the game as a player. I don't try to break the balance, I don't try to min-max stuff. I usually take a mechanic and try to push it as further as possible, trying to make it as fun, for example. And later I write my thoughts about those mechanics or weapons or quests, whatever, and people stop talking to me most of the time. And 3 weeks later I post another batch for my latest playthrough.
A lot of stuff goes into a lot of your points actually go into a lot of lists of what maybe should be done, what maybe should be balanced. So yeah, Pavel has a lot of things to share with us, and I actually asked him to prepare several builds we can show for you today. The ones that we call, you know, curse builds, the ones that he just says are having fun, blah. So yeah. So what did you focus on when you were choosing the builds that you want to show us?
So for each playthrough I pick a mechanic. Mm-hmm. Usually it's the mechanic I'm least familiar with. And I try to make a playthrough in which at least the main squad focuses on that ability, and I try to explore it and use it as much as possible and try to make it not broken, but at least effective. I want to familiarize with the mechanic so I can write my in-depth thoughts and say this is strong or this isn't strong, or I feel like it's hard to use in this way or another. Mm-hmm. And basically I learned the game this way. Every playthrough, some idea, okay, push it to the limit.
Okay, so a question that we haven't discussed before the show. Is there something that you could not make work?
That I could not make work? I don't believe so. Because the more experienced players know, after your third playthrough,
Mm-hmm.
basically you know how the game works, and you can beat it in every way you want. Now, the first two playthroughs, they're difficult, especially the first one, especially if it's on a higher difficulty. But if you beat the game a couple of times, you know the enemies, you know the AI, you know what weapons and equipment you have,
Mm-hmm.
and you can start to play test with it. You can start to figure out strategies, theory craft, and for the most part, everything works. Maybe it's not one merc to beat the whole game,
Mm-hmm.
but you know you're comfortable to beat every encounter, or maybe most of encounters. Maybe your build fails in couple of key encounters,
Mm-hmm.
but you can work around that. You can equip other weapons for this special occasion, for example. So yeah, I mean, the worst playthrough I did, Boyan Ivanov challenged me maybe 4 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, okay, we want to know if it's possible to beat the game on highest difficulty with only one merc, using only fists.
Oh.
And that's a cursed build.
So was that something that you actually made work?
Yeah, it's terrible, but it works. I mean,
Okay.
once you figure it out, you can do it, but the smallest fight is at least 13 turns.
Ooh.
The smallest fight is 30 to 35 minutes where you're sneaking, running, crouching. You know you're going to win the fight. You know perfectly well what you need to do, but you have to do it for 30 minutes. And then you go to the next combat and the next combat, and it's so crushing.
Yeah, so you really need to want to do it,
Yeah.
or to bring pleasure from the pain that's causing you. All right.
Or you need to be an alcoholic or something, you know.
All right. So you want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. Shall we start with the first?
What's the first thing? Yeah, you got for us.
Okay, so the first build, with this playthrough, I wanted to explore reaction fire. All the perks that and all the mechanics that allows you to fire during the enemy's turn.
All right.
So, let me just load the save. So, I tried all kinds of weapons and builds and combat approaches, but the one build that actually is fun to play, it's not a good build, it's cursed. Spoilers. But I really find it fun to play. So, what we need? First, we need Meltdown. Why? Because double Uzis are fun. I don't care how not realistic they are, they just look fun.
Hollywood made them look very fun.
Yeah, I mean, we've all watched those movies. I mean, so, I wanted to make a build with double Uzis that actually does something in combat, that is not just soaking bullets, so to speak. So here's what I tried to do.
And by the way, those are the big gun mods that you're seeing on
First,
screen.
in order to make a double Uzi build work, you need the big guns mode. I mean, you know how little damage the little Uzis do. These ones are better.
Plus, that gas mask gives a very gimpy look.
Gimpy is a word, I'm sure, in the English language. So, I don't know if Larry was speaking about Meltdown or the Zombie Dolphins.
Could be.
So, of course, we try to modify our weapons to suit our needs. We modify an extended game twist barrel because we don't know how close the enemies are when they shoot at us. We want to be effective. We use the compensator not because we need it, but because we can, and it happens that we shoot an enemy multiple times.
Yeah.
The flashlight is very useful during night combat, so we're going to get it. And the most important thing is increased clip size, because this build, when RNG is with you, you're spilling bullets like there's no tomorrow. And of course, reflex sight is also nice because it allows you to overwatch on more enemies. We will see that shortly. Both weapons are modified in the same manner. Now, bullets. We know that the biggest problem with such build is that 9mm weapons have no or almost no armor penetration. So if you have armor-piercing bullets, perfect. You can use hollow points I've selected for this build. Standard also work, but this is not the merc that's going to win you the fight by dealing damage. This is the merc that's going to laugh in the face of danger and probably irritate a lot of Legion boys. So, other mercs, we could talk about them, but they're not important here.
It's not about them.
Yeah, sure. Another thing I forgot to say, the actual build. So, as we said, we want both reactive fire and revenge. Oh no, I believe we're being discovered.
Yes,
Yes.
Larry.
So quiet, I can't even hear my.
Ooh, that was close.
That's why you have active pulse.
Being
Yes.
quiet ain't my strong suit.
So, back to the perks for a quick. Since Meltdown is going to tank a lot of the damage, she's going to be front and center of all of the action, just like Meltdown is supposed to. At least this is how I feel this character should be played. We get more health. We get the revenge perk, which allows us to return fire when an enemy hits us for enough damage.
Plus, like we said, it's in character.
Yeah,
Meltdown.
I mean, hard feelings, vengeance, revenge. There's a team here. Vanguard, because we need grit.
You're gonna get shot.
As unstoppable as Hurricane normally is, grit is always nice. And of course, we get hold position. Hold position allows us to take even less damage during Overwatch. And it really does a lot of work. Since we're going to use Overwatch, there's no reason not to use Opportunistic Killer. Even for nothing else, it reloads our Uzis, which hopefully we're going to see in a moment spew a lot of bullets. And not only will we return fire when we are shot, but sometimes when the enemy doesn't hit us. So, let's see how that
And of course,
looks
she's
like.
ambidextrous, so
Oh yeah, the ambidextrous perk really helps out. So, let's see how everything goes.
Well, look at this little leg.
Now, we are going to use a really special tactic that just says go straight to the enemy
that's a
without using...
Shit ain't
Yeah,
my style.
Clump of enemies.
maybe not so many enemies, but yeah, let's see. I mean, this is going to hurt. Okay.
Oh my. I would not say that this is gonna work if
Yeah.
if you're not explaining all of this.
Yeah, as Cordanor mentioned, there is a trait that doubles all reaction shots, and it's really useful. So if you level up Meltdown even higher, that perk is a must.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
Condor is just mentioning it.
Yeah, for some of the builds, I actually didn't want to level up the mercs too far, because I didn't want this to turn out into here's how a level 10 mercenary can single-handedly win every fight. So, for instance, Meltdown here is level 8, I believe, or
Looks like an asshole parade out
still
here.
really high level.
Time to plug 'em.
So this is a late-game build. But, yeah, if she gets to level 9, this is the perk I'm picking.
Still gonna
No.
hurt.
Oh, yes. So, we have a little bit of free movement. So we can choose where to reposition ourselves. Now, we can't tank all of that damage. That is going to hurt. So, what we're going to do,
I
we
feel
have
a wave
Thor.
of hostility approach. Too much
We are
negative
going to-
energy from our enemies.
Use one of Thor's magic pills.
Oh.
Oh, Berserk. And this is why the pill... Okay.
What the
Oh,
We're hoping for next one.
that's Lorma.
Let's see. Okay. So, will the build work when you actually don't control the merc? If it
Let's
works,
see.
that will be actually even better. So,
It's me, Thor.
now, we're going to do a few things. Housekeeping here. We don't want pesky guys with machine guns to ruin.
I like big guns with with the large machete. That just
Yeah, I mean it's almost an anime character with machete. I mean it's glorious.
big guns is an effective towards medication. I like it.
Yeah, and imagine if you had steroid in the party, they would be even bigger. Oh, yeah, fun times. So we have our imp, basically a sniper imp, nothing special about, and we even can't reach that. Okay, we're going to.
It's not about her anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, everyone is going to run forward. Now, in order for this build to work most of the times, what we really could use is some smoke grenades. So, if you ever feel overwhelmed, don't be afraid to use some.
All the way over there.
For example, I will place it here so maybe half of the enemies don't hit us square on. Maybe. We're going to see what happens. That is going to make a poor attempt at shooting an enemy.
Not bad.
Okay. Apologies. Oh,
Ooh.
this is going to make things even worse. But, yeah.
What
I
was
mean,
it? Roll with the punches?
Yeah, and maybe now that I think of it, if it's a cursed build, it needs a cursed playthrough also. So, let's see what happens. Now,
Shoot! Drive those foreigners back where they came from.
whoops. Yeah, the enemy has armor, so
The MP5 actually looks like a grenade launcher, like with the big guns mod.
oh yeah, now that you mention.
The second reaction shot, first one down.
Yeah, and now she's inspired because she shot at someone who shot at her. Now, if we had placed Overwatch properly, she would have taken even less damage, but hopefully we survived. Yeah, lightning reaction, the perk that every player hates when the enemy uses. One
Just because we
great
didn't
plus of
complete our
the
to-do
big
list
guns
doesn't
mode
mean
is
we're failures.
actually without zooming in, you can tell what weapons the enemies are using. For example, you see an enemy with a shotgun. From miles away, you see that that's a double barrel and he has only 2 shots, for example. And now we're going to say goodbye to Larry.
Right, fine. Take another painkiller.
Oh, poor guy.
We apologize, Larry. Okay. Now, the stream is starting perfectly, I think.
Ouch.
Okay, oh, she's moving because of...
This shit is pissing me off.
We need to check if Mercury is in the retrograde. Where is my star chart?
Where's my star chart? Okay,
Ready.
fine. I mean, I love how badly this is going. This is fun.
Risks of a live show.
Yeah. The risks of live TV. Let's just shoot one hyena. Yay, we did something correctly.
Animal taken down.
And what was it? Just happy little accidents?
Happy little accident.
As on this moment,
Tell that to Larry. So, just basically trying to get rid of hyenas since
Hey,
they're
well,
terrible.
at least no friendly fire, so.
For taking life.
Yeah,
great
this
job.
time.
Go ahead and give yourself a round of applause. You earned it.
So, can we... What build was I running with Thor? Who cares?
Outstanding.
With that machete in his hand.
You will pay for this, boy.
Okay, so maybe...
Hey, not bad.
Oh, no
Maybe you're not
looting.
such a dumbass after all.
And basically we're hoping for the best now.
I gotta say, your playthroughs are much more intense than mine.
No, well, I'd like to say that they usually go better than that, but I am known for save scamming also.
Well, you did say that you're having fun, so.
Yeah, well, what I like the most with this build, which for some reason the enemy refuses to shoot at Meltdown because we wanted the enemy to shoot at Meltdown. The things I like the most is when 5 enemies shoot at her and she shoots,
Back
for
at each one?
example, 4 out of them and maybe kills 2 of them and basically running guns to them and places Overwatch on the next turn. Yeah, the grid comes in handy, especially in those situations.
That machine gunner especially.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, these are the upgraded cars, maybe. Ah, there we go. Okay, finally.
Smoke.
Well, it goes against us too. So now I'm going to try to... Nope, not going to try anything because we're slowed. I believe we have a shotgun. We can shoot maybe here. Nope.
Oh, come on.
Defeat it every day. You will pay for this.
I know what it's like.
Yeah. How could anyone want to eat such a...
So, let's see. Can we kill this one?
Target locked.
Nope. Click
Nope.
too fast. Nope. So we're
See, we don't mean cursed builds.
We mean cursed playthroughs, yeah. What other weapons do I have? Maybe I can steal a shot here.
Aiming.
Let's see.
Ooh, only had
Living on a prayer. Nope. Not living at all.
Very Unger.
No. We're going to...
We have
ignore the
several
fact-
more builds that we want to show, but I really want to see how Pafka can get out of this one.
If at all. Basically we have enough body charges to... Yeah, not the best placement. Sorry everyone, trying to speedrun to the playthrough and of course not doing a great job.
Oh, will she get reactive shot with melee?
I believe she does. What? She doesn't? Oh, some enemies have...
Oh, there we go.
Yep,
For the Legion!
Ah,
probably gonna be the last shot. Please miss. Nope.
Mama told me.
Great start to the speed. What can we say?
You're gonna get yourself killed one day.
that's what happens with curse builds. Sometimes it works, sometimes
Well, if at first saves come, you don't succeed. Oh, yeah. I believe we can stop with this one unless we want to
Sure,
try it
sure.
again, but maybe we are...
no,
Too
it's
far
okay. We
with time.
wanted to show Meltdown, and Meltdown is off
Yeah,
somewhere.
bad pills. Yeah, basically,
As with all living
don't do
things,
drugs.
my husband had time to rest.
Or
Yeah,
at
actually,
least-
it all started with Thor. Come on, man.
So, what is it, Thor? Worst Merc? Okay, I believe this is enough humiliation we are suffering from now.
Oh no, there will be more humiliation for us, I think. But
Thank you for the
let's see the
optimism.
next build, which is also like when you showed it to me before the show, I was like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Just to circle back, as Cordanor mentioned earlier, Alpha has the perk that doubles reaction shots,
Mhm.
and that's what
And it worked
happened.
out well for her. So
Yeah, so next time, hopefully Meldon learned something. Okay, everyone, so let's see. Next build, which requires everything to go perfectly even more. Let's see what happens here.
Enemy spotted.
This is going to be
Prepare for
terrible.
battle, team.
So, what was the idea of this build? In every playthrough, there's a point where you have enough money to support your first squad, 6 mercs. You have even a little bit more, but you don't have enough to support a second one. So,
what do you do?
you want a second squad that can go around and do stuffs, but you don't want to go in the red. So my idea was, can I make a squad that goes around, trains militia, and every now and again defends, or maybe even intercepts a shipment. So,
Small
The-
guerrilla group.
yeah, possibly the least amount of mercenaries that can do the most amount of damage. Possibly fast. So, of course, if we get Barry with his shape charges, Barry is in squad 1 because Barry is
Barry is a player,
Barry is a player.
a team player.
Of course. Even though he's really cheap if you want him for the next squad. So, if you want to have the next best Barry, what is the next best Barry? Of course, that is Tex. Why is Tex the next Barry? And I mean, just to mention, smaller guns, less impressive. They don't strike fear into the hearts of your enemies.
But maybe they should.
Now we're going to see. So, basically, Tex comes with the kill all in this area ability from the start. We only need a shotgun. How do we pick a shotgun? Basically, we want the most amount of bullets we can fit in a single shotgun. What does Tex's kill do? In an Overwatch area, Tex shoots every enemy in the legs, and then he places an Overwatch area, as every other Overwatch area. So, what we're going to do is try to kill all those people, or as many as we can. Maybe we want everyone because they're going to run around.
I was very skeptical when I saw this first.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Considering how the stream is going, I suppose they're going to run in different directions and this is going to fail.
Let's see.
Okay, about perks. Basically, these are all of Texas basic perks. The only one we need is Breach and Clear because we might need it to better reposition. Now, if you can get to hold position, perfect. Lightning reactions, also useful. The thing is, everything you take is going to be a plus.
After this.
After this, but the build actually can work with that too. Now, this is yet another squad we've intercepted, and notice that those are veterans, so slightly better opponents. Now, we're going to try a multi-pronged attack. And everything's going to fail. We just need to find out how. So, if the enemies could stay in that line...
Circle the wagons. We haven't been
Okay, maybe we have a chance. Let's see what's going to happen. A line? Maybe a too big of a line, but let's see.
Too long of a line, maybe.
Yeah. Now, what we're going to do, we want to reposition Tex so that he can see as many enemies as possible, possibly in a straight line. Now, I believe somewhere around here is going to be a good position. No, he can't reach.
Let's see. Four is okay.
4 is nice. So, now,
Well, you can't have 6 every time.
yeah, earlier today we tried it. 6 enemies in a line. It was glorious. So,
Chef's kiss.
another thing we're going to do, because we need every ounce of damage we can, we are going to position Raider so that as many of those enemies have the flanked status, because it gives us 20% damage for every shot. Should we do this? I believe we should.
They are all over me.
So now we see that most of the enemies have the flanked status. And let's see what's going on. Okay,
Keep on the offensive.
basically what we're counting on is that the splash damage from the shotgun is going to damage everyone in the area. So,
Looks impressive. Yeah.
yeah. So the more enemies you get, the more damage it's going to inflict. And now that we've done 4 shots, we have how many shots? Remaining attacks 3. We only have 2 bullets, so it's going to be mostly 2, but probably Tex is going to be able to clear maybe these 2, weaken that one.
Read you. 5
Now,
by 5.
Before we press enter, why do we have Raider? Raider first is a great leader, so you can easily intercept enemies across the map.
You can also use the squad for training, so.
Yeah, he can train militia like a madman, and then he's a driven that guy. And his special ability, which says he gets an accuracy bonus for enemies within Overwatch cones. So, if Tex can't kill many of the enemies, Raider can weaken them more. For this build, he's using just a simple high power with short barrel, so he only needs 3 action points to fire. What we're
Clear
hoping
shot on perp.
is that he's going to have, let me see, What kind of bullets did I put into his... Oh, they're standard bullets. Okay. Of course, as every other time, you can use armor piercing, hollow point. So let's see how everything goes. I'm counting that Tex is going to kill those two, so I will try to kill the veteran. But he's away, maybe.
Good
Either way.
visual on target.
Raider should be having a really good chance
Way to go, partner.
of headshotting people left and right because of that
Especially at
bonus.
this range.
Yeah, so what we can do now, we're hoping that maybe the enemy won't kill us. Maybe this is a good time to see what perks we have for Raider. Raider basically has, I want to run faster, so to put as many enemies into higher flank damage. Anything that gives you survivability, lightning reactions if you can. Arterial shot I found is quite decent for pistol builds because many enemies have unprotected arms. So maybe you can't place a headshot, but you can shoot them in the arms and not killing them but doing decent damage and preventing
lowering
them from
accuracy.
hitting. So basically we pray that the curse of meltdown doesn't rip strike again. Whew. Okay, we can live through that. Come on, Tex. You can do it. Okay, first shot.
Give our strength.
Oh, they were too far apart. Oh, nice. Oof. Oof. Yeah, those are veterans for you.
Cowboy was supposed to
So
But
yeah,
the bleeding got him.
sunset.
yeah, the bleeding got him. So yeah, if you get
Taking more heat than expected.
the perk that lowers damage during Overwatch, it's a lifesaver. So at this point, do we need to finish the combat?
I'm interested.
Okay,
You guys want to
Let's
see
go.
it finished?
2 shakes of a ram's tail.
it's I am absolutely unaware how much time has passed. So I don't. Well,
We could get it. Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have went through half of the enemy squad, basically it should be easier to clear what's left.
Let Tex live.
Let Tex live. Okay. Hopefully.
There
Yes.
we go.
Choreography. We make a good action scene here.
And basically we're covered. So can we run and gun here? Okay. Use the point blank accuracy
shoot.
bonus. Now, can we do this? Yay!
Those close-up animations.
Now, I guess.
Love them. Yeah, and basically we know how this goes with the last
We
time.
have a medic on set.
On set. I love it. So, because we have this perk, we can always use him to basically move further.
Partner.
So, yay! We can reach him. Splash damage, we don't care.
And lowered accuracy.
You got
Lowered
it.
accuracy.
Oh, and you got additional free move.
Yeah, and we're... No. Should we? I don't know. Let's enter. Hopefully.
Je suis que le monde blessé.
That's adding insult to injury, or what?
Yeah. Hopefully we can... No, we can't.
Yellow.
Raider is not going to be able to reach, but
Maybe.
yeah, let's try to bait the enemy to shoot at Raider.
Yeah, 10-4.
Eh, 7 damage. Okay, let's... should we?
Sure, partner.
Okay. And
That might save him, actually. Famous last words, you know?
famous last words. Well, hopefully he doesn't get inordinate amount of shots. No.
Ready.
So,
Copy. Moving over there.
you can pre-go. So, what you can do
Yeah.
now, if you see basically this here, While you're previewing with Ghost, Control and X only changes the Ghost. So basically, the Merc will reach that point and go prone.
Yep.
Or you can change it with Z to
Change it on the spot.
To change it. And another thing, for example,
Yeah,
V,
that's actually planning for your actual move.
yeah, it's easier. So one thing you could pay attention to is V, which means lock movement. For example, if we use this, let's use it like that. So Raider is going to run and go prone just at the end because that's the most efficient way.
I repeat, repositioning.
But if you want him, for example, to crawl to the other side, you can use V to lock the movement so he won't get up. It's really useful if you want to get out of Overwatch fire and you have some low cover in front of you. I don't know why I expected that. I believe most players are already twice as good as me in this game, probably, but yeah.
It's a big game.
Yay, and this time,
Wait, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I believe they were 7 if I remember correctly. So,
Two-man squad against 7.
yeah,
I'll take it.
so basically, if you get third mercenary, for example, if you don't have a place for Larry in your squad, he's a really good fit because first, he's a good medic, so he heals you after you take 4 wounds. And next, because of his high explosive skill, he can actually craft more buckshot because Tex blows through them so fast. Basically, he shot,
yeah, we saw.
I believe 10. And I don't know about you, for some playthroughs, I believe it's almost cursed I want to have buckshot. But for example, I find 30 or 40 in early and no buckshot basically until the late game.
So what, you craft them?
And basically, yeah, the only way. So with the increased amount of gunpowder in the game, it's a lot easier for weapon-specific builds.
Yeah, 4 wounds this time.
Yeah, so
When we were testing this just before the stream, it was, as I said, I didn't believe that this would work. But he managed, 6 enemies in a cone, and he basically mowed through them. I was like, no, this is...
yeah, basically we tested that everything is working. There are no bugs because, I mean, it's enough that Meltdown gets shot cold-blooded during stream. Larry gets eaten by a hyena. We don't want the bugs to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right,
yeah,
let's go to the next one.
that's that. What was the third one? Oh yeah, the third one is
This one's similar, right?
Somewhat similar. So the idea behind this playthrough,
Found a hostile.
basically 2 or 3 weeks ago, I read extensively the Jagged Alliance 3 discussions in the Discord, and I picked off everything that the players felt was underpowered, unusable, and basically they don't enjoy using. So I tried to make those things work somehow.
Okay.
Now, I was certain they won't be overpowered or the best build.
Like, so the simplest thing ever.
So yeah,
You
basically,
picked that.
yeah, well, I was hoping one of those things would work, at least, because there's 3 of them. For example, I tried to make Steroid a viable character because many people were saying that they feel that since he has so little agility, he has little action points, and he can perform as many actions in other mercs. I tried to use as many guns as possible. I mean handguns.
Okay,
And I tried to make a really OP sniper build because everybody says sniper builds are OP, and I know they're decent. They're really good and really reliable, but I wanted to make a sniper build to rule them all. And I don't believe I've succeeded with that, at least at this point. So, what do we want? What did I figure out in this playthrough? First thing is, turns out Buns is not a sniper. We're going to see later. Next thing I wanted to make work was Flay's special ability.
Okay.
So let's start with the most important parts. How to make Buns with a gun actually do something in game and in hopefully later game. So first you need a good guy with a shotgun.
Good guy with a gun.
Yeah,
Shotgun. Yeah.
even better gun.
If you get it, you get it.
So, this is my in-character. I started the game with him. He's already at decent level. But basically for the build to work, you need, again, breach and clear. You need fast runner. Anything else is a plus. It's great, but those are the things that have the best effect. What we need to do with him, also, we've given him, oops, wrong button. We've given him an auto 5 shotgun. This is the same shotgun you can buy in the stores in, I believe it is Fleetown.
Yeah.
So it has a full choke modification, which increases range, and you have short barrel, which reduces the amount of action points it costs to fire. So at this point, each shot costs 3 action points, and I believe this is a steal any day of the week. So for burns, we have 2 options. We either have an Anaconda, which again, shorter
Shorty.
barrel, and Iron Sight for just this basic minor accuracy bonus at all times. The other thing you could do is use the MP5K, again, bought from the Fleetown store, best store. Basically, you need the UV dot, again, shorter barrel for reduced AP cost. We want to make as many shots as possible. Vertical grip, since the first aim level is free.
Yeah, that comes with the K
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, basically the other stuff, whatever you get is good, not required. What do we need as perks? So there was a lot of F around and find out for this build in order to make it work. I tried a lot of stuff, so many of the things you see here you actually don't need. For example, I tried to make her tanky, so he can stay in combat.
Oh, but that's buns. Or you mean buns? Okay.
Yeah, but that's even worse than the curse build, so we have a certain level of standard for cursedness. So what I found out, again, I tried arterial shot for bonus damage, and that's basically decent. I think you can use this in any pistol build, give or take, whatever your preferences are.
It gives a lot of flexibility, I know.
Yeah,
A lot of people play it, the arterial shot specifically. Just for the...
basically to not need armor piercing ammunition every time. Live wire tank. Okay. Don't get me started on that. So the things you actually really use basically are all in the agility tree. So you need fast runner because you need to get into position. Frog leaping helps a lot of that. We all know the cursed combination of fast runner and frog leaping. Flanker is really good. And I still haven't put those skills because I wanted to show not the perfect build, but basically higher crit bonus. Must have bonus damage after kills, also great. This makes your pistols deal a lot of damage if you have those. This is also really good, and we're going to see really soon how that works out.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. No, sorry, I know this is a long introduction, but bear with me for a second.
It's a big squad, so...
Yeah, and there are too many ideas here. Probably should have threw away half of them. Now, the same idea with the Anaconda, but this time we have a Overwatch modification, and I tried something similar with a Beretta. Not sure this is good, but again, basically try to make a gun that runs on crit chance. So, let's start with these 3. First, we're going to position ourselves. Select everyone, please. Oops. Is everyone hidden? Everyone's hidden. So, we have again a squad. Oh, those are not veterans. Okay. This will be
Oh,
easy.
Raven? Raven?
Raven is not... Oh no, she is.
Yeah, the Grandeur. Oh.
Okay. Hopefully this is not going to be a problem.
If you want, you... There.
No, this is... Everything's fine.
We're committed.
We're committed. So, basically, you know what? I'm going to teach people the most important move in all of Jagged Alliance. Should we show them? This breaks the
know.
game. Okay.
Should we?
Should be working out.
I believe we
Should be
should.
working out.
We should be working out. Yes, okay. What we're going to do
Get down.
is basically going to hide everyone. Now,
Changing position.
why is that good? The enemy is too far away.
Raven
We
here.
maybe can hit them with a few snipers, but our pistol guys are going to have a hard
A
time.
lot of perps here.
So
Guess I'll get comfy and
we're going to use take cover for everyone, and we're going to allow the enemy to come towards us. And next turn we're going to have an unfair amount of action points, even if they don't come to us.
Let's hope they don't grenade your cover away.
That would be
Unpleasant.
yes, a show of bad taste. I was about to say.
Pass, you lazy dogs. Fight
Oh,
better.
full auto. That's bolt. Suppressed. No, okay. Meldon is going to get those anyway.
The hell you want?
So, step one. We need our shotgun guy
Pew pew.
to basically inflict damage on as many enemies as possible. So, this one is easy to inflict damage upon from other marks, so we're going to run for the other ones. Now, we're going to save scum, not save scum, free move scum.
Three.
Yeah, so we don't care about killing anyone. We only want to wound them. So
That's a lot of free move.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can get
Going right now.
these two like that. Let's see.
I think you will.
I'm surrounded.
Oh, not that one. No, this one is hidden. Maybe like that. Perfect.
I have no cover.
Oops.
here.
That was not supposed to happen.
Acknowledged.
You are not
Okay.
supposed to die.
No, misclicked.
Misclick. I think you can still get those two.
Yeah, basically these two or this one. I prefer to weaken this one. So, and with the last free move, what we want to do is place our merc in such a manner that as many people are flanked, because our pistol guys are going to use that
Moving to position.
and count on it to inflict damage. Oh, 35,000 in a single turn. Yeah, those are rookie numbers. So,
Monica Sondergaard.
Guy just covered the whole map in one turn.
Steady
no,
does it.
not like that. So, Monica is going to try. Yeah,
Order
this is
accepted.
frog leaping and fast runner for you. So, since they're hit with something, it doesn't matter if it's the main bullet or the splash of the shotgun,
Pay
Buzz
close
gets
attention to my
the
form.
bonus from her anything you can do. So, she has higher accuracy bonus. Because they're hit with shotgun, they don't benefit from cover.
Mm.
So this means that Buzz can basically headshot
Is the
every one of them.
precision and efficiency I
Oh,
am
now,
known for.
Ah, I am wounded.
okay, we're going to leave that one for some of the other guys because we want to maximize. Did I move one?
good as done.
Yes, I moved one tile further than I was supposed to. And this is how you get somewhat efficient gun build. And if we actually didn't mess up the stealth phase, we would have been right near the enemy and Buzz would have probably shot 4, maybe 5 of them. So another thing is everyone has, not everyone, but enough enemies have the bleeding status effect. So
I
this
go to
means
set up my shot.
that play is going to
This will
have
be so easy. I'm already pro.
bonus damage. Now, best thing is you have 4 or 5 enemies.
Guy just won't die.
Yeah, but basically for 3 action points, you're doing as much damage as you hope an AK is going to do with a burst fire, so it's decent. Now,
Monica
don't-
Baba Yaga's undergrad.
yeah,
In her case, it makes more sense than in John Wick's.
absolutely.
All of the Slavic players out there,
Buckhead.
you get that one.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
So since the enemy decided to stay there, and we were stupid enough to go here,
10-4.
we're going to have to chase them, and we won't be able to finish them in a single turn. But hopefully... Now, another thing, which I of course forgot to do, but we're going to show later, is Raven's Overwatch ability, but let's leave it for the next build, I believe.
I think the next build, yeah, covers that.
Next build covers that extensively.
If I miss, it is okay.
Now, what I try to do with Steroid, basically, make him a tanky boy that stands in the middle of the field, overwatches with a sniper, gets no damage, and gets reaction shots. And if he's in the front line, it works. Currently, I don't think it will, because everyone will be shooting at
Very
us.
far away, yeah.
So let's... where should we try to hide? For
Acknowledged.
example, here, I don't believe. And let's see how 4 or 5 of our mercs die miserably because we failed the stealth phase. Yeah, of course, Raven has the double shot.
Moving to position.
And okay. Oh,
Going right now.
for example, let's try this again. Now, another thing you can do to make this build even better is to use Top Spotter. Basically, every time Raven overwatches someone, she gives them the mark status, which makes the next shot guaranteed critical. Now, there are some terms and conditions that apply.
Of course, the
This shot has to pierce armor. If it doesn't pierce armor, it doesn't get the benefit.
If
So
I make
now-
a move, they'll shoot my buns off. Easy.
Basically, what Buns can do is have a guaranteed crit headshots. And you get even more damage with a single pistol shot. And since there are 3 action points only, you can actually get quite decent amount of damage in a single turn. So, as you see, this build is a total mess. It involves 5 or 6 ideas that are not working together at all. But you can choose any. For example, you can choose the shotgun guy with the 2 pistols, and they can work. Basically, Raven improves those builds. We're going to see that next. Steroid is actually decent with that build. We didn't get to showcase that. I don't believe it makes him the best merc on your team that's going to carry everything. But you don't feel like he's useless. Even if you can get him to a position where he sees the majority of the battlefield.
True. Still, tank buns is, I think, the takeaway from this.
Yeah. Well, I believe this is 3 for 3 builds that didn't go exactly as I hoped. So
That's why we call them cursed builds.
yes, yes, they're not only bad, but they don't work. No,
Well, you're alive, and
Yeah.
did you take? You took a little bit of damage.
yeah, no wounds this time. So I see that we're nearing the 1 hour mark, so I will run to the 4th build because this is the build that actually,
You want?
this is the build I want to show because this build, this was a, oops, sorry, this is a non-existing mod, but, so how this build happened, this is a role-playing build. I call it Ravens. Why is it called that? I imagine the scenario where Raven points her Overwatch cone somewhere and 5 guys with knives just jump and murder everyone. And I thought this is going to work just because melee is strong and it's going to be basically nothing interesting.
I want to see it.
Now,
I haven't seen this one, by the way.
in this save, the only thing that we've done is Fox has shot one of the enemies, so everyone is surprised, and this is us. This is what we're going to do now.
Raven here.
We need Raven. First, Raven's perks. Absolutely nothing of this matters. Not that they're bad, you don't need them for the build. The only
Only
thing
for
you
the-
use
yeah.
is Top Spotter. Basically, as she levels up, you place this, and the only actually Raven leveling up is bad because you have to pay her more. This is how good. Now, as far as weapon goes, basically I modified this gun to be an Overwatch gun because I expected that she's going to fire. She's not going to fire. Basically what you need is a reflex sight for the wider Overwatch cone. She's not going to get the chance to shoot. Now that I said those things...
Famous last words.
Absolutely, everything's going down. So, we have a lot of enemies. First step is place as many enemies in the Overwatch cone as you can. So,
Acknowledged.
now we are going to ignore everything that common sense is telling us. For example, use cover and the such. No, we don't want common sense. You don't play common sense. You don't play Ravens if you want common sense. Now, we have 5 guys with knife builds. Basically, they're a little bit different. I'm going to show you
See a lot of creeps
the one
from
that I
here.
found out that is the most effective. For every knife build, usually I use full body contact, hit and run, and fast runner. I feel these 3 are the things that allows any character to run freely into combat, inflict damage, get some grit, and maybe even hide, so they don't get as many wounds. I'm guessing everyone knows this. So frog leaping is also nice because you can cover even longer distances, but these 2 are key. Mainly anatomical precision. Since we're using melee weapons, every hit ignores armor, so we're only going to use crits from here on. So, crit in everything. Inspire after 2 crits, we're only critting, so you're going to get more action points. Now, with this squad, I have finished the game. What the other perks that you need are 30% bonus damage after the first kill. And you need killing spree, which gives you even more damage. Now, this is not the final form of the build. Now, the weapon you want is a sharpened machete. They might be harder to find. You maybe not be finding enough sharpening stones, but just imagine.
Even my final form, I liked to imagine Fox with that little smirky smile and a great big machete in her hand. So
Yeah. Also for this build, I would also recommend the big guns mod because the big machetes, but a matter of taste.
yes,
You won't hear from me for big guns anymore. So basically, another perk I forgot to mention that could use, or at least for some of the mercs, is the sudden strike, which basically allows you to cut down all butchers without any fear of repercussions. But now, I didn't test to see how much damage we do in this level, in this version of the build, so let's see. Or maybe, let's do it properly.
Multiple targets in sight.
We have the proper build for, yes, sudden strike, so we're not going to take it. So let's see, we do a little bit less damage since we only have 16, but here goes. And we only are targeting torso because otherwise we would have to aim because we might miss. So 40 damage, but it's a crit. So 70 damage, and it's guaranteed. Now everyone's going to run. Basically, you can choose if you want to place the Overwatch cone before or after enemy reposition phase, if you feel like they're not in a good enough position. Now, basically, we're going to give them a chance. Now, maybe I should have saved after the repositioning phase in order to save time. But mistakes were made. Sorry,
it's
everyone.
okay.
I know we're learning a little bit longer.
I don't think anyone minds.
He took my... He took my buff. This is not fair. My marked buff. I'm going to cry. This is not fair. Don't use this with militia. So
Yeah,
is this-
their turns are long.
Yeah, and I know it's a little bit longer, but I wanted to choose a fight with more enemies because this build has potential. So, let's see. Oh, they used... No, he doesn't have...
They don't have them marked?
Nope, but
Oh.
that's not a problem. Oops. Excuse me. Let's try at this one too. Oops, excuse me. No.
Jesus, I know.
You got it.
Come on, it's not that bad. So, yeah. Fox is going to kill this one.
I truly
From-
believe
from
this,
this-
is why girls make the
From
best
this point
soldiers.
onward, we are maximizing to use free movement. So I want to hit a few of those guys. So can we reach them with free movement? Basically, we have just one more strike because I didn't count. Who should we? Okay, let's use the rest of the max. So Mouse has somewhat of a different build, but as you see, same idea. She basically runs through Overwatch cones, not getting hit, and cancels Overwatch, so everyone else can fly freely. But she has just a knife, so you might think that this build doesn't work with a knife because knives don't deal enough damage. And you're partially right, but okay, 40 damage is 40 damage. Now we are going to run to the next guy. And then we're going to run to the next one. So
I
as
call
you
this
see,
the stabby build.
yeah. Now, a fun thing you can do with this build. Have I done it at this point? Oh, I haven't done it. So, you can take a mercenary with high wisdom, and you take, which perk was it? Oh yes, Inspiring Strike. Every time you deal 50 damage or more, you get higher morale.
Mm.
And you, with a machete, you can do less than 50 damage. So that actually becomes quite viable.
All right, I'm going.
Oh, maybe I should have finished those two. Let's see. Now this is the
Ooh, I
The
think I
worst-
killed that person.
version of the build because we don't have enough machetes. But later in the game, it's quite easy to have. I believe I finished the game with 4 machetes, and just because I wanted Blood to be the throwing knife machine.
Mm. He just finishes up every...
Yeah, basically for fine details.
And you get a knife, and you get a knife.
Exactly. So, okay, Blood is doing his thing. Did we actually mess up? Yes, we messed up because we can't hit anyone and get free movement now, so mistakes were made. Actually, the hardest thing to operate this build is to calculate how to hit enemies so all your mercenaries can go to the furthest one in the first turn.
I mean, you basically butchered almost everyone, and I see that Fox still has 7 action points, so... I don't know.
Yeah, so with our imp we have the perk that I don't have, or do I have? Yes, hand-to-hand combat. Interrupt attacks in melee range, so yeah, maybe you can finish all of them. He will do the job.
What's on your mind?
And with this,
Anything for you.
of course, we should.
That creep's
No.
dead.
Should we run a little longer and finish?
Sure, sure, go.
I don't believe.
I want to see it.
Yeah, militia-friendly fire. This is a problem.
Oh, let's see.
So with the free move, I'm sorry, I'm speaking too much and I started
tease
to
me.
speak nonsense. Oh, apologies. We can even
Sometimes it's more fun when you have to try to be quiet.
terrible. So with the free movement, basically you can even hide.
Stressful, but I'll do it.
You want me to hide?
Okay, Fox is fine where she is.
When
We're
is
going
my
to move
15-minute break?
Livewire because even after we trained her,
Yes?
she's
Sometimes
still a
it's
little
more
bit.
fun when you have to try to be quiet.
Fast
So basically, these two we expect to be killed. Oh,
Ouch.
3 of them. Apologies. Yeah. Imagine if they get a pencil. Yeah, Randy Tanner, yes.
Fence.
But if you want such a build, basically. Now, did we encounter a bug? Ah, hidden enemy turn. Oh yes, there is a squad of enemies in the building to the side. This is
How
not a
many
bug.
enemies are on this map?
I believe there are 8 there, and I don't know for the event how many they spawn. Maybe 12 or something.
Wow.
I suggest we don't waste too
everywhere.
much of people's time and basically stop it here.
A lot
I
of
believe the idea is there. People know what to expect of it.
yeah. And I'm surprised because a lot of people said, no, we're still missing the large combats with a lot of enemies. And I was like,
Yeah, we do have those, but yeah, it's not every combat like that.
oh, yeah. Thank God.
Yeah,
They're very fun, but they are like a big meal. Like you go through a
yeah.
lot of stuff, like
oh yeah.
enemy turns, militia turns. It gets tiresome
It's
after a while.
sometimes basically when you have militia, they may be annoying because they make the turn bigger,
Yes.
longer, but they still soak damage. They divert the enemy's attention, and you say sometimes, I want to fight in bigger battles, but I want only my mercenaries.
Mm.
And sometimes in those cases, the combat becomes really unforgiving because you make one mistake and now not
Mm.
2 enemies fire at your mark, but 5.
Yeah.
And what would be maybe 2 or 3 wounds which you can move through with.
Yeah, but
basically
technically
you
also
better-
they hold some positions that you don't need to, like, for instance, they hold that building. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry that someone's gonna be there and grab all of the cover, so.
Yeah, so should we stop here? What do you think?
I think so.
In-
We're running a little bit over time, but this was. I gotta say, I didn't watch a lot of builds like how people were trying to go overboard,
Yeah.
but I was very surprised what you managed to achieve. Maybe it's me, because a lot of the design team knew how far along you took this.
Oh yeah, I remember talking to our lead combat designer, Momchi,
Mm.
maybe even 2 years ago, and he was mentioning those builds, and I was like, I barely ever get out of Verni, and by the time I get to play next, the save doesn't work and I have to start all over, and I don't care about those perks. And now that I can actually play the full game and get mercenaries to higher levels and get better gear,
Mm.
there are builds there. Now, are these the optimal builds to play the game? No. Are they min-maxed? This one, yes, but no. Joking, no. I don't believe those are the best builds. I mean, I haven't tried to make what's the best build in terms of numbers, but I believe there are enough builds that you can try to find a way to have fun. For example, I tried the melee build, try to make it fun. Okay, this works like that. I have fun with this one. Meltdown, even if she gets berserk because of unsanctioned narcotics and dies, okay, that build is fun. So
I think the Grand
whatever you-
Chien authority on drugs, the drugs are whatever, doesn't care. So
yeah, they have bigger problems than that.
yeah, I think so.
So yeah, the thing is, we know that not everything is as easy to use as a sniper rifles. We know the 6 snipers in squad is really comfortable, and we know that works. Machine guns are. I actually don't use machine guns unless there's a really hard fight. And there, I don't want to spoil the fight, but in fights where you have to manage the life of NPCs, those are the times I allow myself to use machine guns, because you
Alright.
basically you need to kill 100 enemies in 2 turns or your NPC dies.
We need a clean recording of the dual Uzi build.
You need to see it in full glory. Okay, maybe what I could do is make a GIF or something and upload it in the Discord at some point.
Yeah, we
Maybe
can
that
see.
would work for basically a one turn where everything works out, and not the rest of it where it doesn't.
We'll see how we can get that out there. So, how was the first stream? This is your first stream, right?
I've never been on TV before, Mom.
So how did you feel?
Well, basically I was really nervous. I'm not so nervous anymore.
Don't be.
And I
Whatever.
didn't manage to pay enough attention to chat, so I don't know if it was a good stream or not, but I had fun, so...
I think that everything that happened is just the exact definition of roll with the punches. Some things worked out as expected. Some things were really unexpected, especially Thor, you son of a gun. But yeah, I think it was fun, and let's leave it at that and throw the ball at the community and let us know your cursed builds, what you have done that's weird, wacky, and actually works.
I'm really have no... I can't wait to see what people have figured out as weird builds and combinations. Because we tried single merc builds, we tried duo builds, we tried the squad builds, and I'm sure there are so many combinations. So let us know what your favorites are.
Yeah. All right, so closing off, we're going to be here again next week. We're going to continue with some other topics, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, we are doing the weekly streams, and we are going to continue doing them in the foreseeable future, so be on the lookout for those. We are looking at Discord. That's our main platform that we interact with the community. I know that a lot of people write on the forums and on Steam, but that just gives us a lot more flexibility and like a option to dynamically talk, especially with the people who are more involved in modding and have started doing some more complex mods. So we have some guys from the programming team and some other guys that are there and interacting and helping you guys out. And we're going to do the best that we can, along with all of the other work that's still incoming, like the map editors that Pavel has used for creating all of those levels during the years that we've developed the game. And hopefully we can get that to you very soon, and you can make your own Jagged Alliance maps and campaigns. So, yeah.
Yeah, really excited to see what people are going to do with those.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be fun.
Oh, yes.
All right, guys. So, see you next week. And love you all. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.